For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check out g2a.com, and if you need any Ultimate Team coins, then head over to FIFA. The code CHES will get you a discount on both sites, and all links are down below. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again, and welcome to episode number 51 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. Today we start with a game in League One. We're at home against Coventry City, one of the better sides in the division, though they're not having the best of seasons, as you can see from the table. They're down in 15th. We're still there in 3rd, just a little bit behind Barnsley and Birmingham, but with plenty of games left to close that gap. Starting with Kwesi and Robbie Simpson up top in this one again. We're struggling for fitness thanks to the fixture list congestion, so it's going to be a difficult game, but we are at home, so we would like to take advantage of that, and we'll try our best to get a result here, although they've got a player up top that we were actually looking at in the transfer window on a pre-contract, Simeon Jackson, so I was hoping that he wasn't going to be able to kind of make me pay for not actually going in to get him, and they've actually got Roger Johnson at centre-back as well, who's a very good centre-back. You may remember him from his days at Wolves in the Premier League and Birmingham City as well, actually, but Robbie Simpson's on the ball here, trying to break through. So you can see there's a man free on the far side. It's Alan Saint-Maximin. Gets into the box. He's going to try and turn his side. Good shot. Unfortunately, well saved that Kwesi's there on the rebound. And somehow he isn't able to squeeze that into the bottom corner. Trying to cut it back on his left foot. Actually cuts it back too much. And we aren't able to take the lead. And then Simeon Jackson breaks through here. I mentioned he could cause us a few problems. He does so. But fortunately for me, his finish is off target as well as ours. So we stay at 0-0. We're almost done for the first half here, though. And Taylor's going to play it across to Thomas here. Nice little 1-2, but unfortunately for them, the shot was a little bit tame. Couldn't quite get as much power behind it as he wanted. And it didn't really cause the goalkeeper too many problems whatsoever. But we're in the second half now. Going to nick it off them in the middle thanks to Michael Woods. Lovely through ball by Robbie Simpson first time. Plays through Kwesi Appiah, racing away. And then it's a simple finish into the back of the net. That makes it Cambridge 1, Coventry 0 in the 53rd minute. Delighted to go 1-0 up. So making a couple of changes just to keep things fresh on the pitch, because obviously we are having troubles with their fitness right now. Riku Ring and Liam Hughes coming on for Michael Woods, and Jenkins Chikawi, I believe, was the other player to come off. And actually, that made us, or gave us, the extra incentive and the fresh legs to go up the other end and continue to keep the pressure on. Saint-Maximin gets fortunate with the way that his initial cross falls back to him, but then picks out Kwesi at the far side of the box absolutely beautifully. That's quite similar to the ball across and finish that Eden Hazard and Loic Remy put together for Chelsea's goal against Manchester City at the weekend just gone. But was now in the end of the game, very end of stoppage time, and as you might imagine, Coventry pushing a lot of men forward to try and get themselves back in it. Riku Ring on the counter-attack is left-footed though, so I have to make sure I turn my onto that left foot, because he isn't the best of finishers, being a central defensive midfielder, but he does get the ball into the back of the net. That gives us a convincing 3-0 victory against a side that we really should have expected a tougher test from, in all honesty, but pleased that we didn't. We head into the next game against MK Dons on the back of that good win in high spirits. Now, the unfortunate thing is that this game comes 2 days before the Cup final against Hartlepool in the Johnson's Paint Trophy, so I'm having to play a real rotation side here in this one. You can see that they're starting a very strong side. You'll of course recognise the name of Dele Alli there in the cam roll. Of course, signed for Tottenham on deadline day earlier on in the week, so we definitely know what sort of problems he's going to cause. And actually, MK Dons have a reputation for being one of the best sides in League One. They just don't necessarily seem to get themselves promoted. They always seem to be there and thereabouts, but can't quite get themselves over the line. Now, I'm playing Ivan Santillan at left mid, and because Saint-Maximin, I couldn't, of course, we've got Harrison Dunk out injured with I think it's a sprained ankle. He's out for 8 weeks, so I only have one left winger, so I have to play Ivan Santillan there and hope that either Santillan or Greg Taylor can remain fit enough to play at left back for the next game, and then we'll have Santillan, we'll have Saint-Maximin being at full fitness for the cup final. But can have 3 or 4 players that really are quite tired that are playing in this one, and then 48 hours later are going to be playing in that cup final, which will of course come to you as a live commentary in tomorrow's episode. But as you can see, we've given away a penalty here, unfortunately. 25 minutes in, Greg Taylor came across, and to be completely honest, it was a definite penalty. The defender just gets his shot away, and Taylor just is nowhere near the ball, just threw himself at it, couldn't get anywhere near it. Green dusted himself off, took the pen, went the right way with a BOGO, but unfortunately he wasn't able to reach it. Really well placed into that bottom corner by Green. That made it MK Dons 1, Cambridge 0, around about the half-hour mark. And just a few minutes later, you can see here, Dele Alli's going to slot the ball through to Redshaw, and that makes it 2-0 to MK Dons. And unfortunately, we really were struggling in this one. with the fitness of the players. It's nice to get the win against Coventry, but we don't look like we're going to get anything from this one. However, we are going to continue to try and get ourselves back in it if we can. Adam Armstrong with a great turn here, top finish, but what a save from Blake, the goalkeeper, diving down to his right-hand side. The ball's pretty much past him by the time he gets a giant fingertip to it, diving backwards. Really top save from him. So we'll take the corner. Ricky Ring's going to be the man to whip it in. We'll try and win the header if we can. Nelson goes up, drops on the edge of the box to Greg Taylor. Great strike. That was bending in towards the post, just not quite bending enough to find its way into the back of the net. But Kwesi's going to try and instigate us getting back on level, not back on level terms, but getting close to being back on level terms, getting us back in the game. But again, a top save by the goalkeeper means that we stay 2-0 down. But right at the start of the second half, Kwesi again involved. Nice little step over, just trying to tease the defender, get him to commit to a challenge, which he does there. We take it round him. Kwesi left-footed shot into the back of the net, and 2-1 is the scoreline with just over 40 minutes still to play to try and get ourselves an equaliser. Josh Coulson steals the ball off them there. Kwesi Appiah is clean through. 20 minutes to go. I slow down here to try and settle myself to slot it underneath the goalkeeper. And Blake somehow manages to get in the way of it. I was hoping Kwesi was just going to try and, slot that on the floor. He tried to give it a little bit of elevation. It didn't work. And that was going to make us pay because they went up the other end a few minutes later. Made it 3-1 with a little bit of luck. The first header came off the bar. Second header came off the post. And it hit Greg Taylor, I think it was, the man that had been on the other post. It hit him in the chest and then went in. Not the most picture book of goals, but unfortunately, it still counts. Whenever the ball crosses the line, it counts. And you can see from the stats, it was a really average, no, not really average, a really close game that could have gone either way, but unfortunately they took their chances, we didn't. Quick recap then of the injuries that we currently have. Still got those 3 broken ankles, and it was a dislocated shoulder for Harrison Dunk, not a sprained ankle, I apologise. But he and Luke Chadwick are still going to be out for 5 weeks. Tom Champion's still out for another 2 months, but Tom Elliott will be back within 2 weeks' time. So you can see we've got the game against Hartlepool 2 days later, and Tom Elliott should be back, hopefully, for the Shrewsbury game, if not the Doncaster game, the week after that. So maybe he can help us get us over the line in League One. So you saw there, though, we do have Hartlepool next in tomorrow's game in the Johnson's Paint Trophy final at Wembley. So that'll be a live commentary for Saturday's episode. And then we'll be back into 3 games per episode for the final 2 or 3 games of the League One season. Although we do still have to have the draw made for the FA Cup semi-final. We haven't yet had the money for getting through the quarter-final against Bournemouth. And when we do get that money, I am going to sign a couple of free agents to make sure that we've got enough players and enough fitness to get us to the end of this season, because we still, thanks to that defeat against MK Dons, find ourselves 4 points away from the automatic promotion spaces. These injuries really have cost us our promotion bid right now, so I'm hoping that if I can bring in some free agents when we do eventually get that money from the Bournemouth game, that we'll be able to bring in a free agent or 2 and, strengthen the squad for the final handful of games in the league. And, of course, maybe even for the semi-finals of the FA Cup as well. But who knows who we're going to get. The draw yet hasn't been made, which is probably why we haven't had the money. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. We hit 46,000 subs earlier on in the week, which is fantastic. Thank you very much for that. I should be streaming later on tonight, but follow me on Twitch and Twitter to find out exactly what time I will be, if I am. And you'll be able to see there what is going on the stream channel. And of course, check the channel page here for anything you may have missed over the past few days, whether it be this series, the My Player series, or the Liverpool Career Mode series, which of course went up earlier on this afternoon. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.